Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First, I want to join your congratulations of Sam for his extraordinary service to the committee over 30 years. That's an amazing record, and I just want to thank him for all that he's done for us. Mr. Boudreau, first, there's been some criticism of your nomination because of your associations in your private sector experience in recent years with fossil fuel companies and other commercial entities that may have an interest in the work that comes before the Department of the Interior. Can you answer those questions and address any allegations of conflict of interest or tainting of your views in terms of the issues that will come before the department?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question, Senator King. I have been in government service for a long period of time during the Obama administration. I am accepting of the scrutiny and criticism that comes with holding these roles. I'll admit that I'm a little bewildered by some of the criticism, given what I believe was a very strong track record during the Obama administration on conservation, including things we worked together on in Maine, and, for example, the designation of Katahdin Woods and Water National Monument, and my reputation as a regulator, both tough, but I think fair-minded. In terms of the ethics rules, I've already begun working with the career ethics staff at the Interior Department to ensure that procedures are in place to ensure, and obviously I will be mindful at all times about complying with my ethical obligations as I have in the past.
I want to be clear that I don't necessarily hold those concerns, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to address them simply because they'll be part of our committee consideration of your nomination. One comment, and perhaps you could respond. The National Park Service has been leaderless for 4 or 5 years, 4 years anyway. What kind of priority do you place upon helping the president and the secretary to find a director of the National Park Service and be sure that we have consistent and strong leadership in charge of that critically important part of our federal responsibility?
Yeah, thank you, Senator. I couldn't agree more with that sentiment. The National Park Service is essential to connecting the American people with our shared natural resources and encouraging a next generation of Americans to be involved in conservation. In order to carry those values forward, I agree with you. I think it's extremely important that the National Park Service have a director.
I'm going to go out on a limb and predict that this summer is going to be the biggest summer ever for the national parks, and we better be ready. And as you and I have discussed in our meeting prior to this hearing, we really need to talk about the national parks in terms of the pressure on them, and that brings me to the Great American Outdoors Act. The implementation of the Great American Outdoors Act, which involves both Land and Water Conservation Fund and the Restore Our Parks Act, maintenance in the parks, is critically important. Here in Congress, we can provide the vision, but your agency has to provide the implementation. Is this going to be a priority for you when you go into office, and will you commit now to being clear and transparent with this committee in terms of the steps taken by the administration to implement the Great American Outdoors Act?
Yeah, thank you for that. As I said in my opening statement, I am profoundly appreciative of the work of this committee and Congress to pass the Great American Outdoors Act and to bring much needed resources into the Park Service and our public lands. We've talked for many, many years about the maintenance backlog and infrastructure crisis facing the national parks, and to have Congress step up in such a significant way to address that problem is really amazing. I know everyone has frustration sometimes about getting stuff done. Congress really got some important work done, and yes, I look forward to working with the Interior Department and this committee on making sure that we bring maximum value out of each one of those dollars.
And will you commit to being in, remaining in close contact with this committee on the implementation in a fully transparent way?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.